Hi there, welcome back. I've got another video for you today. Today I wanted to talk about um, power and privilege. And so I've got some ideas about this to talk about. So recently I saw videos, some video clips from a college campus. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a historical black college. And some guys with MAGA hats went there to set up tables and debate students there. And what they got was they were verbally harassed, shouted down. People took their signs. Eventually, the police had to of the university had to walk them out of there. And people have been making videos about this, so some of you may have seen that. But what I wanted to point out from this, and if you you might come across my comments on some videos because I'm very active leaving comments online and sharp with my tongue when I do that, is that this is a display of power. This is a display of Marxist power. So Marx taught this demonic doctrine that all of history can be described between oppressor and oppressed, between victims and the victimizers. And what you can see here is that the ability to shout people down and do away with them, get them driven off of your campus, is a display of power. To not have to debate, to not engage in the realm of ideas, but to simply use force, to be able to use the campus university police to help drive these people away, to use shouting, getting in people's faces, things like that. That's power. When Tyler Robinson fired his bullet that killed Charlie Kirk, right? You've got Charlie out there to debate people. What happens? He gets shot and killed, murdered. Power. This is what Marxists do. This is how they do the revolutions, is the use of power. It's no more talk. And I'll reference the Communist Manifesto a lot. It had a big impact on me reading it. The amount of terrible ideas in it is just, Jordan Peterson in his talk of the Communist Manifesto talks about this. It's like it's so condensed, all these bad ideas. It's remarkable. But this is the outgrowth of those kinds of ideas that you're either in one camp or the other. You're either the oppressor or the oppressed. Like, who wants to be in the oppressed camp, right? So take power. This is the mindset that the left has been inculcating. You can see that. I recently saw some even more videos of people laughing. There's a woman who was on a college campus debating, just like Charlie was, and got word that Charlie had been killed. And she tells the people there, and what do? They laugh. These students laugh about it. They're amused by it. They call Charlie. They say that he provoked violence with his words, while they laugh about actual violence being done. And so there's this unempathetic and hypocritical bloodlust being provoked on the left. And what you've got is just those with power, those without. So of course you want to get power. And then what should you do when you have power? You should use the power, wield the power. Well, it's like, okay, you see this reaction from so many on the left to either be like, well, that's understandable, or laugh and amused and happy about it. And so it's like, so they'd approve of any of the rest of us being killed for it too. Well, that's scary. These are the people that this is the side that wants to confiscate our guns, tells us we don't need them, and that the Second Amendment isn't about protecting from government overreach and tyranny. And they want to take them away from us. And they're the ones who will laugh and say, well, yeah, you disagreed with us and said things we don't like, so you deserve to die. It's just like, wow. I mean, if there was any question about what they would do if they could get all of our guns away from us, they showed it right there in the response to the murder of Charlie Kirk, right? What would they do if only their side and their government in charge had all the guns. They're lamenting, they're mourning and calling us Nazis because illegal aliens are being taken and shipped back to their home countries, and yet their party is the side that would love to take the forces of the government and go door to door, confiscating guns from conservatives, from everyone, I suppose. They would be amused by it, right? They would laugh and be amused by it if conservatives were being shot and killed, if their houses were being raided, because they were protecting their Second Amendment rights by not giving up their guns. Like, this is what they have revealed, that if you stood up for your rights and the government was doing the bad thing that the Second Amendment exists to protect you from, that they would be amused. They'd probably call you a terrorist, and certainly so, and that they would be happy about it, their own citizens being killed. This is what they've shown us, that their allyship is not even with fellow citizens anymore. Their allyship is with foreign nationals and foreign interests. They're not even on our own side. They're not on their own side as Americans. They are against the things of this nation. This is what they reveal in their attitudes. And so, again, going back to the power thing. So the people who would laugh at us, who would laugh at the death of Charlie Kirk and of our mourning, these people hold levers of power in society. These people have influence in the media and disseminating information, and also in elections and controls over monitoring voting and things like that. And so it makes me think, we already didn't trust the left when it comes to voting. I mean, they're the side that goes, well, illegals should be able to vote in our national elections and various elections, and that you shouldn't require ID and shouldn't ensure that people aren't voting multiple times or in illegitimate ways. I mean, you can see the intention there. And they go, well, you're racist if you want ID. Oh my gosh, the projection. But do you trust these people? Certainly we don't trust them to take our guns away. That's for darn sure, right? You trust these people to run a fair election? I think someone like Vladimir Lenin and the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia was about free and fair elections. So there's this lie that the left does, and when they talk about democracy, there's a reason they don't talk about America as a constitutional republic. They go to democracy, democracy, democracy. And the reason why they use the word democracy is because those in the know, those who really know what they're meaning by this word, is they mean the majority. The majority is the oppressed. The majority that needs to rule democratically is the proletariat that overthrows the bourgeois. In cultural Marxism, the proletariat shifting from economic to all the special interest groups of minority, oppressed groups, minorities, LGBT, whatever, just the whole modge podge of groups, that they're the real proletariat, that they're the ones who need to be in charge and become the majority, and they need to overthrow all the groups that are the bourgeois, and that then they'll rule. That's what they mean by democracy. They mean that they will rule one party representing all the oppressed classes, that they'll flip things, and that the oppressed will become the ruling ones. They will have the power, and they will rule from there, and they will wield that power. I mean, how is it any other way but from their lens that they got the power, so they should rule, and rule with an iron fist. So don't be deceived when they throw out the word democracy. They don't know what it means. They don't mean it the way that it means. Many don't even realize they've been duped into they're saying, oh, our democracy is under threat, right? The average liberal will go, Trump is a threat to democracy. But the real movers and shakers, the real Marxists in the party who understand history and understand what they're really doing and how they've twisted the Democratic Party and the left. Those people know that what they mean when they say democracy, and when they get the media to peddle it, that it's under threat, and they get the average liberal who doesn't understand to say it because it sounds like, right, we have a democracy. A republic is a form of democracy. Like, oh no, it's under threat. Oh, the fascist Trump is a threat to this thing. It feeds into the fear mongering. But the real true believers know that what they mean by democracy is that they want to have this power flip where they represent these special groups, and they're the ones that need to have the power. And what do you think they're going to do with that power? They think we ought to be dead because we disagree with them, because we call them out, because we have like traditional values and care about our country and its norms and laws and history and Christian heritage and different things like that. They want us dead for that and would laugh about it. So I'm kind of concerned that they're not genuinely interested in preserving democracy, right? The average, maybe liberal, who doesn't understand that these are the underworkings that have been going on in their party and the left over the decades, over the past century, their concern might be genuine, but the real movers, the ones really in the know, they know exactly what they're doing to manipulate. And so we got to be on guard, be calling this stuff out. So just want to encourage you to keep doing that. While it feels like, in a sense, there's a sense of winning going on. I just made a video on the changing winds. At the same time, they're not going to give up. The left feels squeezed. They feel like they're losing. Like, just imagine, what does this cornered animal in danger of losing power, what's it willing to do? Right? We saw what happened with COVID in 2020. What are they willing to do to remain in power? How are they willing to lie? How are they willing to rebrand? How are they willing to find some other group, some other argument, some other crisis, some other way to reshape themselves? And it'll be the same Marxist crap being reshaped in some new way to portray themselves as the saviors and as the moral and righteous ones. So maybe I'll do a separate video on that, but we all need to be on guard about that. And the liberals coming over to the conservative side, to us who have been here a long time, need to be just awoke to how the left and the DNC is going to try to grasp power, is going to try to from doubling down to rebranding themselves to try to come off as more gentle, or going even more hardcore. And how will the people who feel the squeeze, who feel that their radical left-wing beliefs might be getting pushed out of the norms of society and relegated to the dustbins of history, how might that intensify their actions? How might they become even more dangerous, even more radical, as from their perspective they think evil Nazi Hitler's taking over, and that we're going the way of the Weimar Republic, right? What might that drive them to do? So watch out, I guess. Keep your head on a swivel. That's what I've got for you today. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.